music's probably drowning me out, so let me say it again. Thank you for using your Prime sub. Hey, that's we're only 19 away from our goal now. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Um, I'm will be I'll be fully up and live in just a second. So, 1 second. And hello, welcome everybody to um welcome to my art stream. Today we are working more on Prime Videos, or not Prime Vid. Why did I say Prime Zero's drawing, art raffle drawing. Last stream we got up to coloring, so today we'll just be continuing that. Hopefully we'll be able to get it finished today. And yeah, that's the goal today. To answer your question, Spoons, I'm doing good today. I finally got the posters I got at the Pride Festival beginning of this month hung up today. It took forever. And yeah, and that's about it. I kind of slept in today, so I woke up not too long ago, and I do have a bit of a sinus headache today, but other than that, I'm good. Just open up my drink, and then I'll be ready to switch the camera over. Nice. Let me art stream. Art game stream. No, alright, so that's where we left off yesterday on our drawing. So today we are just gonna continue it. this around. Good. I'm glad you're liking it. Alright. Okay. So we're gonna start with coloring her little seashell. What's the word? Never mind, I can't think of the word. You'll see what I'm talking about. Sick. Yeah, that'll work. Seaweed, thank you. That's the word I can think of, is seaweed. Thank you, Brian. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to start with the seaweed chain, because it's a small spot, so that'll be a nice, easy thing to start the stream off. That way we can also save the big ones for later. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day today so far. Like I said, mine's been pretty good. Kinda slept in today. Stayed up a little late last night. More kinda keeping an eye on storms. It's Oklahoma and it's still, I think, technically spring, so gotta pay attention to storms and shit. Because you want to get blown away by a tornado in your sleep, which I don't, so you know. Now, for y'all that don't know what I'm doing, this is, I believe, known as burnishing. Or layering. I forget which it is, because I know I'm not sure, but, basically, you use two different color pencils on the same part of color to help get rid of all those small little dots. When you just color something with a colored pencil, you know, you can still see the little bits of the white paper sticking out. But this helps make the color fully blend in and make those little spots go away. It makes it look a lot better. I just like also giving those little tips for y'all doing drawing streams, because I know when I'm watching someone draw, I kind of use that as a way to, in my own way, learn how to draw certain ways. You see how they draw, and I don't know, it's just a nice way to help people without them having to ask. Also, it gives me something to talk about while I'm drawing, so it's not just completely silence. we go. Alright. So the green done. Just want to make sure the she shell. Why is that such a hard word for me to say? It's pink, right? You wanted it to be pink, Prime? Pink or purple? Ren. Oh yeah. That reminds me. Thank you for collecting your daily fire, Prime, and reminding me to do it. 2. Okay, next. You're okay, good. So, pink or purple? Let me think. I'm thinking maybe a light purple would go real well. Especially since that's supposed to be red underneath. So let's test that out first. Do it on this paper so we don't have too much showing. Huh. Give me a second. Oh, damn it. Alright, I see what the problem is. Alright, give me a sec. We were just chatting for a second so I can fix my webcam. So I use my, for y'all that don't know, I use my old phone as a makeshift webcam. I use this app to basically turn it into a webcam to stream it to my PC. Every once in a while, it will not lock the screen on for whatever reason, to where it'll turn off and then that'll turn the screen off, the webcam off. So I'm just restarting it to hopefully get it to not do that again. It's annoying. Might be a little blurry now for a sec, but it should get better. Technical difficulties are right there. Alright. There we go. Good thing I have my laptop, my phone up as basically a chat box, because I noticed my webcam wasn't picking up it wasn't showing what I was doing, so that made me look at my laptop and I saw it's just a frozen screen over there. Why is that? Alright, anyway. Yeah. Okay. So what do we think about that purple for the seashell? I'll raise it up closer to camera so you can see Prime. Good purple? Okay. We'll go. Yeah, we'll go with that. Another tip for y'all, and especially if you're not sure if you want this color or that color for drawing, instead of just winging it and putting it on the drawing, get another sheet of paper, like I do, and test it out there first to see if you'll like it. It will save your ass. Oh, so if you recognize what's playing in the background, it's because it's the exact same Sonic playlist I played yesterday, because I didn't get copyright claimed or the VOD muted playing it, so just gonna be keep on playing this. I'm doing something Sonic related art-wise. Yeah. There you go. And you wanted the tail colored black there, I remember that. Make sure I don't fuck it up, we'll use the ink pen. Yeah, the back part, I remember that. This is from Sonic Adventure, by the way. This song playing in the background is like the first level with Sonic. I think Seaside Hill. Which I gotta say, I really liked Sonic Adventure 1. That's I know a lot of people give Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 hate a lot, but Sonic Adventure, yeah, it's been a bit of a hot minute for me too. But I played it when I was about 15. I didn't grow up with that one. And I'll say right now, I really liked Sonic Adventure. I thought that was really fun. Here's probably a really hot take though. I did not enjoy Adventure 2 though. I kinda hated Adventure 2 after I got done finishing that game. And you know what sucks is literally just because so many things are mapped to one fucking button on that game. Like no shit. If they just put some things on a different button, I would enjoy that game way more. But when everything is on that one button, I hate it. I hate that game. like I'll defend Adventure 2 story. I think people give that game story way too much shit. But gameplay wise, for the first few levels, like as it's Sonic and stuff, it's fun. So when you start getting the upgrades, it becomes less fun because again, it's all mapped to one fucking button. Like seriously, if they just did a remake of Sonic Adventure 2 and the only thing they changed was putting the mapping the abilities on different buttons, that's all I need. So that's it. But then and a few other fixes. But like, if that was like bare minimum, that's at least worth a buy. That is your bare minimum what you have to do. And you think Adventure 2 is mid? I can see that. I think gameplay wise, a lot of what's in Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed. This song, by the way. But I think a lot of what's in Adventure 2, either funny enough, what's in my opinion done better in Adventure 1, or the way it was designed, it's just holding it back from being great or good, really good. I am also one of those players that the worst thing you can do for me as in a video game is take away my control or make the control worse. Which is why I don't really like Adventure 2. Because so much is like, I told you to do this, and you did the opposite. Ah. Yeah, they really were. Like, again, so much of Adventure 1's problem, or Adventure 2's problem, is literally just mapping too many things on one button. God damn it. One sec. I feel like it didn't. Settings. Let me guess, that was a by best viewers? Yes, it was. Alright, yeah, goodbye. This way. So, let me make it way longer before it turns off. I don't know why it's doing that thing where it's not locking the screen to stay on. But fuck it, I will just make it the screen timeout to be as long as possible. So at the very least, I can keep that from happening for as long as possible. I just tilted. There, that looks better. Alright, what was I? Okay, got the black done. Alright, let's work on the clothes. So, I want the clothes to be a gray and red. Remember that. So what kind of red are we talking about? We're talking like a dark red, a more bright red? Dark red, okay. I figured as much. So let me see. Yeah. I just remember you said you wanted the skin to be dark blue, so I just figured the red would be a dark red too. Okay, there's that one. That could be better. Maybe this one. Okay, a few different examples of red here. Okay, hang on. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I had a phone call. Yeah. I have a weird phone ringtone. Me and my mom's share a phone, so our ringtone's more for her so she can actually hear it, because her hearing's really bad. Well, there goes that. Mechanical pencil. Another one. Oh, my mechanical pen. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my mechanical pencil just ran out of lead, but I got another one. I theoretically have another one. Okay, well that one's busted, so try one number 3. Are you serious? Alright, well, damn, we're down 3-3 with... Just normal pencil now, I guess. Alright. Alright. So I numbered them for you. Down there. So just let me know which kind of red you would like for the outfit. And you can't even see the numbers, can you? You like option 4 the best? Alright, that was... Let's leave. And got it. Make sure that's the right combination. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, 3? Okay, that's okay. I mean, figure it out. I think it was. Yep. Got it. All right. And I'm assuming your nails are the same color as your clothing, like the same shade of red. Yes, okay. Just making sure. Alright. And blaster as well. Let's see, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this song is from. The style of it gives me Sonic Unleashed vibes. Like, this sounds like something that would be in Sonic Unleashed. Or actually, wait a minute. Might be actually from Sonic Lost World now that I think about it. Because it has a more cheery tone to it. Yeah, it is sometimes. Especially since, the people that did the music for Unleashed, Colors, and Lost World, all the orchestral kind of tunes, are all the same band, or same group. So, that makes it a little bit more trickier. I have no idea where this song is from. Yeah, it's something I would love to see one day. It's a Sonic or symphony show. And man, in you people that saw that show with Casey Williams there singing songs, I am jealous of you motherfuckers so much. Because if you somehow don't know or can't guess, Casey Williams is one of my favorite singers. I mean, I literally have a fucking emote of her face here in my Twitch chat, which I believe it's a free emote, so any of y'all can use it. I was so hyped when I heard that. I got even hyper when I heard that she had a song for the Sonic or Shadow X Generations cartoon shorts. Which is such a good song, too. Yeah. I know when this playlist ends, the one right under it is a Lo-Fi Frontiers music playlist. Or compilation. They're not playlists, they're just compilation videos, so... Eventually there will be at least some kind of Frontiers music. Yeah, I'll have to check and see if I can get away with actually playing Frontiers music, because... Like the vocals and stuff one day, because... I absolutely love the vocal themes in Frontiers. Find Your Flame is... Find Your Flame is my favorite. Out all of them. Like, that is such a good fucking song. Find Your Flame is your favorite too? Yeah. Well, for me... Son of a bitch! Ow! I'm being attacked by my pop! Yeah, I took a sip of my pop and it came back and splashed into my eye. Ow. Gravity sucks. Yeah. But anyway, the reason why I love Find Your Flame so much, my favorite thing a song can do is, I like to call it kind of genre shift, where it almost feels like it's in a different genre within the same song. And that song does it pretty much constantly, and has a bunch of ups and downs to it. So it really feels like it's telling like its own little story. Like, there's bits in that song where it's, like, kind of, for lack of a better word or term, normal singing to it. And then there's, like, those transitions to where it's more that heavy metal raw or roar parts. And then there's just a fucking rap part to the song, because hell, why not? Just, I love that. Some of my favorite songs in Ruby do the exact same thing too, like I Burn, where it's just like a normal rock song and then it just transitions into being a really cool jazz, almost jazzy rap song, and then goes right back into the rock song. The normal I Burn song, there's like 5 I Burn songs in Ruby, but the normal one does that. This is from Unleash as well, this song. Remember guys, when you're coloring with color pencils, see if you've been paying attention to what I've been doing, I colored the outer end of the, like her breastplate basically. And now when I'm coloring inside, I'm drawing in circles, that way you don't see the stroke marks. And it makes it all blend in a lot better. And you can see, this is a good contrast of one layer and 2 layer here. You can see how the second layer over here, there's a lot less white dots and specks than it is over here, where there's a bunch. So that's why you want to use 2 different color pencils if you use color pencils. Yeah. You know what this song kind of reminds me of? That tap part to it. It reminds me of Resident Evil 4 Mercenary mode, as it's same kind of tap to it. I just ruined that song for at least one of y'all out there. It does, yeah. Next time you play Resident Evil 4, all you're gonna be thinking is Sonic. Or Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries, all you're gonna be thinking is Sonic. And you can blame me. Or vice versa, you'll hear that song and then just think Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries. Yeah, talking about things that sound alike. Look up the Chaos 6 boss fight theme for Adventure. There's a guitar solo in that boss fight, which you'll never hear in the game, because you'll kill that boss before it ever plays. But there's a guitar solo in that song that is almost one-to-one just the Mission Impossible theme. I'm not joking. It is like, damn, I hope that's a coincidence. Because it is so similar. Actually, when did the first Mission Impossible come out? Yeah, which actually is actually a genuine question. When did the first Mission Impossible come out? Because I know Sonic, I believe, Adventure 1 was 98 in Japan and 99 over here in the America. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mission Impossible was 99 or 2000. And to which, if I'm right on that, then my next question would be, did Mission Impossible make the Mission Impossible theme song, or did, which I mean the movies, or is the Mission Impossible theme song a part of the Mission Impossible show? Which, fun fact, there was a Mission Impossible show first, before the Tom Cruise movies, and then they made the Tom Cruise movies. Then our little tip, especially if you're drawing something kind of small, or there's a lot of other colors that are next to it, make sure your pencils are sharp. That way you have more control on what you're coloring. You don't accidentally color out the little lines. Looking good? Good. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm having a really fun drawing now. This has been really nice. It's given me the excuse to try something new and Sonic character designs. Because Sonic, the Sonic art style is something I really like drawing. I've been wanting to get better at. That's part of the reason why I made the whole goal in the first place. Big goal in the first place was because I wanted an excuse to draw a Sonic character. And it's giving me good practice at drawing Shark version of a Sonic character. Or Shark Sonic OCs. you know, actually, kind of think about it, funny enough. Yeah, thank you. Funny enough, now I think about it, there aren't really a lot of Sonic fish characters, are there? Like, I know there's Croc, or, not Croc. What was... SBO... Okay, why can I remember both the other Chaotix team members' name, but not the one I'm trying to actually name? I know there's SBO, Charming, and I'm blanking. Vector the Crocodile. Okay, yeah, thank you. And yeah, I know, like, the comics, there's a bunch, because comics really go into... Alright, what about this animal, but Sonic style? Which I do appreciate and like. And make some really cool creative designs. But I'm just talking, like, more, like, mainline Sonic games. I know there's Vector. And I think that's it. Everyone else is a hedgehog, a echidna, a cat, a bee for some fucking reason, a lizard, a big ass cat, a bat, I know I'm forgetting one. A bird. Oh yeah, there's Big Frog. Okay, there's one. Big Frog. Okay, but here's the other question. Does Big Frog actually count? But does Big Frog actually count since he's not like Big or any of the other Sonic characters? Like, he doesn't talk or... He's like an actual literal like our world version of a frog. Which now I want a fucking frog Sonic character to show up, just so we can have the same Goofy and Pluto argument of like, alright, so you're a frog. What the fuck is Froggy? Or vice versa. Froggy's a frog. What the fuck are you? I just think that'd be funny. If I had to write to Sonic for a reason, I'd just make a frog character just so I could make that discourse show up. Just noticed the camera went off, sorry. There you go. Generally, let me, Chad, don't worry about it. Let me know if the camera goes off so I can fix it immediately. Okay, there we go. That's the top done. So, let's see. What do we want to do next? Now, let's just work our way down. So, next will be our parents. BRB, okay. Take your time, Prime. And ads have started also. So thank y'all who aren't subscribed for seeing those ads. They greatly help the channel. We're getting there, chat. We are getting there. On the last layer for this part of the pants. So next will be the next part of the pants. And I think next probably do the gloves and shoes, gun, battery blaster. And ads are over. Thank you for seeing for those ads. So yeah, do the gun, the blaster, and then the nails. I think that's really good. Round out. Little dancing, little jig the music. Go. And now for the bottom part of the pants. For shorts, I guess they're shorts actually, but welcome back, Prime. We are almost done with the pants. We are on the second phase, second half. It's getting the first layer done. Go. And just sharpen that next. And let's give this a little sharp now. So I'm guessing there's a phase 3 in Undertale with Sans. Because I'll tell you right now, I've never played in Undertale, so... I mean, I know of it, obviously. I think you have to be living under a rock not to know about Undertale. Oh, okay, cool. I know there's another fan-made Undertale game called Undertale Yellow that I get confused if that game is actually considered canon. Or at least that's the blessing of the creator of Undertale with it. But you know, speaking of fan-made games and stuff, that is one thing I will always commend Sega for, is how they just let the fan base basically do whatever they want. Make fan games, animations, all this stuff, and don't go cease and desist. Crap. No, they'll just go over here and like, hey, come work for us and do that exact same thing again. Like, I wish more companies did that. The only other company I know that does that is Bethesda, where, you know, they see these, like, groups of people making Fallout London, and when that project's almost done, Bethesda comes over here and like, hey, come over here. Come work for us, and do the exact same thing. As you know, I just think that's a lot better than the Nintendo way of, let's just, cease and desist all you assholes, or, 2K, hey, I'm gonna cease and desist your fan-made, project mod, and then release basically what you are doing, but in a way worse state. So Fox is impressed. Okay, cool. I've been seeing a little bit about Deltarune. Not much, but I saw a few things pop up in my timeline and stuff. Are people enjoying that? Because I think Chapter 3, 4, and 5 came out. Yep, okay. So are people enjoying that? Also, is the game complete now? Or is there more than 5 chapters supposed to be in that game? They are? Okay, I'm glad they're enjoying it. I will say, out of Undertale and Deltarune is the one that has caught my eye more than Undertale. More I come to believe? Okay, that's good. And I'll say it right now, is because I'm a completionist, so I'm kinda annoyed that I get that in Undertale, they basically punish me for just trying to do everything, to where I can't ever get the good ending again if I went through a null kill mode. I think that, to me, I am under the impression from what I've seen of Undertale anyway. I've never played it, but what I've seen, I feel like just getting the kill everyone run, the run itself is punishing enough by of how much you have to grind and the fact you have to kill all these likable characters, and you'll feel like an asshole. I think making where you can never get the good ending again is going a step too far. From what I've seen anyway, Deltarune doesn't do that, which is why is one reason why I'm more interested in it. And I don't know, I just find some of the characters from what I've seen, I just like them a little bit more. Which is funny though, because I guess if I liked the characters in Deltarune, I would like the characters in Undertale, since a lot of them are carried over. Which, by the way, I'm a dumbass, and I had to be told that Deltarune is just an allogram, or allogram, I think? Allogram? I think that's a word. For Undertale. I didn't pick that up at all. I'll have to look that character up, because I'll be real, the only character in Undertale or Deltarune I know on top of my head, without looking at the character portrait, is Sans and his brother. Which I don't even know what his brother's name is, I just know it's Sans' brother. Which I have seen, at least that much of Undertale, of Sans' brother being a fucking dumbass. And I love him. Papyrus, that's his name, yeah. Papyrus is great. So is he finally in Deltarune? Because I know they kept on teasing him for chapter 1 and 2. Like, you could basically, with context clues, tell he's in, like, this one house, but you never actually see him. Oh, cool. You don't know? Okay. Alright, there we go. We got the bottom pants done. No, I didn't. That's only one layer. I need the second layer. I'm thinking 2 steps ahead. I will say, for Ultimo, depending on what kind of paper you have, you may want to do more than just 2 layers. What I do, I put the base color and then I put 2 more layers on top of it. If you have better paper than what I work with, you might want to do more layers. I just do 2 because if I do any more, then the paper itself starts to break, because from what a friend told me, this is the paper I use. This book is more for sketch work, but it's also like all I have, so we work with what we got. Well, also say though, you don't really have to spend like a shit ton of money just to draw. By the way, you can just use with what you have at first. Yeah, I think sometimes people get this mentality of like, oh, you have to get like the $500 art set so you can really draw well. I'm like, no, you fucking don't. You can get the $5 book and the $10 crayons or $10 colored pencils, and that's a good starting point. If you like it and you continue to really like it, then yeah, invest more. But if you can, but you know, work with what you got first. And that is a general tip in life. Yeah, that is Escape to City. But that is a general tip in life for everything. Where you want to become a streamer, an artist, writer, whatever it is. Don't go spend a shit ton of money on this, like equipment for streaming or draw and stuff. Just to then start doing it and realize you don't like it. No. Because then you have a bunch of equipment you'll just never use and it's just collecting dust and you're wasting money. Like for example, streaming. This is an easier example because this is what I did. Instead of buying like this microphone, this laptop, and all this stuff immediately, I got on my PS4, I turned it on, I had a headset, I streamed directly from my PS4 and went live and did a playthrough of Bloodstain. And did an entire playthrough of Bloodstain to see if I liked streaming. And obviously, I did. I really did. To where now I have invested into it. I have this actual mic to where I don't sound like I'm coming through a fucking phone. I got this layouts and art stuff, this laptop so you can see me draw and stuff. I just say all this because, you know, I have seen at least a friend of mine or two make that mistake of they were starting to stream, but then they realized they really didn't like it, and they basically wasted their money on a bunch of streaming equipment. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you get... If you, for some reason, want to hear your ears bleed, not ears bleed, but hear some pretty bad audio, because again, I didn't have a really good mic back then, and honestly see my OCD at its worst, because if I remember correctly, my OCD triggered really badly there in a lot of spots during that playthrough. And you can still see it on my YouTube channel, because I did archive most of it. I say most of it because I remember my cat Snowflake at the time jumped on my laptop the moment I was trying to archive one of the streams. I think it was session 10. And he ended up deleting it. It's pissed me off. There is sadly a bunch of streams like that too on my archive channel, or on my archives. There's a stream missing or two. More because I was lazy and I forgot to go archive it, to where then it passed the time and got deleted off. I think like my PS4 100% playthrough, Marvel Spider-Man has a few ones missing because of that. Although that one was also not really my fault, because my laptop died in between that playthrough, so I literally could not archive. So that actually also kept me from streaming for a while, until I was finally able to get a new one, and a new spare anyway. And I just fucked up and accidentally deleted one of the parts for Call of Duty World at War. I got mixed up on which one was the part and which one wasn't. And what happened was, because back then there was this trick I could do to archive all my streams on Twitch. Because Twitch, for y'all who don't know, used to not have a storage limit on what you could highlight. So what I used to do is I used to actually archive my streams on both YouTube and Twitch, to where I would just highlight the entire VOD, publish it, and then I go and export the next video. I did that, but then immediately deleted that part, not realizing, oh wait a minute, I should actually wait a minute for all that to go through, and because I didn't, I fucked up and made that part disappear. But now I'm thinking about it, that might only be on Twitch that problem exists, which wouldn't matter since I don't archive my VODs here on Twitch anymore. There are a bunch still archived here. Like, I think I made sure my entire Bloodstained playthrough was intact, because I didn't want that deleted at all. That's like even though I don't really like the idea of going back and looking at it, because I've grown as a creator and stuff, that's still where I started. I think it's kind of important to remember where you started, so you can keep on growing. So that's why I want to make sure it's saved. Yeah, it is rough, but, you know, I've gotten better at archiving my shit. Because I think since Call of Duty World at War, maybe Tomb Raider, 1 to 2, I haven't had a single normal part be missing. So like all of Miles Morales is there, all of Spider-Man 2 is there. Bendy is missing a few parts, but those, I think it's like missing 3 parts actually. Because in between Bendy, funny enough, my laptop died again. And I had to get a new laptop again. A new spare, which I was able to do, but that Bendy playthrough also, those 3 parts were nothing. They were attempts at the no death run, and they were all failed attempts, so you're not missing much, other than me being pissed like really angrily pissed and not saying shit for like 45 minutes because I am annoyed. I am going through chapter 1 for the 50th time. Can't wait for October so I can do it again. Because no shit, I did not finish Bending an Ink Machine. That playthrough is still technically ongoing. I'm just waiting for October. It's really September, because I like to celebrate October, Halloween about a month early and stuff. So, September, October, I'm waiting then to start that playthrough up again. To try my 100% playthrough on it. And yeah, but you know, September and October I just think works better since it is a horror game. So, it gets, it's just more fitting in that time period. Yeah, the bravery. Yeah. Actually, yeah, that is something I do plan on doing for this Halloween. At the very least, I want to get Bendy done. I don't think I have the money for this, but I would like to also just get the other 2 Bendy games and all the other Bendy games and just do a mini Bendy marathon. I 100%ing all the Bendy games, since it is my favorite horror game franchise. Better than that, I would just play, depending how far I'm in September or October, I would either play Resident Evil, the original remake, or Dying Light. And the reason for that is I am more of a Bendy fan, but I do also like FNAF. But I will say it's just basically telling a story and the world and stuff, I do like Bendy a lot more. And I will argue, I think Bendy has just done a better job of telling a story in a mysterious way than FNAF has. And it's because, well, one planned, actually at least somewhat planned it, and the other, I argue to this day, is probably still just going as it still does not plan it, and just going with the flow. I mean, correct. I mean, you can try and prove me wrong, but it's like the game's ended 3 times in a row, and then have 2 soft reboots in the franchise. That doesn't strike to me as he had to plan for. And like, no hate on FNAF. Again, I am a FNAF fan too. I'm just a little bit way more critical with how Scott tells his stories. I will say right now, I hate how they're putting way more book stuff in the FNAF games. Because that was always a slippery slope, and I'll even say even back in like FNAF 4 to 6, he never really did it very well. Of like, alright, so the main villain of the franchise, you learn his name in a book, and then it is just randomly stated in a game. The actual context, you'll have to read that book. And then connect those certain book pieces to how they connect into the actual game's continuity. It's a little bit of a mess. I think like games like Bendy, arguably, who do a similar thing, did it better by actually having the stories actually be connected, the books and the games at first, but also having everything that is explained in the book actually be in the games and you can figure it out. It's just the book is more taking all those pieces and just flat out telling you. Like Boris' actual name in Bendy, for example, and who he is. You can pretty much piece all those events together in the game that he was someone that worked at Drew Studios and stuff like that. You just learned that, and you can kind of figure out that his name at least probably is Buddy, since he responds to it, which I know he's a dog, but also the game showcases that if you either go by the character's name or your past name before you are turned into an ink creature. So it's, you know, like all those explained in the actual game, and the book is just, alright, well, you didn't notice all these details, here's the roadmap to it. Here's the story to explain that. Whereas FNAF, it's like, alright, so here's the actual fucking answer. Now apply it to the games. Because, like, for example, Secret of the Mimic. And having one of those guys be in there. That guy has literally never showed up in a game. He has only ever been in the books. So I just think that's shitty storytelling, in my opinion. To where, alright, to really know who this character is and understand that, go buy the book first and then come back. Again, FNAF fan, I just do not think he does it well in telling stories. Funny enough, I think the FNAF fan base is way better. Yeah. I think, funny enough, FNAF fan base have a better grasp of telling FNAF as a story, since the FNAF fan base actually thinks about it first. Like, I think it's like The Unwithered Truth is the YouTuber name, and he had made this video of like, what if FNAF's story was actually thought up first, and made his idea what a FNAF remake would be, where the story is actually thought up first. And that's like a really cool version of Five Nights at Freddy's that I would actually play. And I think really shows you how FNAF as a concept is really cool and can tell really interesting stories, and to be fair, do, like, Sister Location, with ignoring the whole William name drop being random, actually does tell a pretty cohesive, good story where it is kind of scattered. You have to put the pieces together, but you can find out. And a lot of those pieces are, if they're not in that game, they are in the other games, like FNAF, like one of the secret endings revealing Springtrap. You can, you know, FNAF 3 and 5. There you go. And FNAF 6, I think, did that pretty well, too. And both the VR games have done that well. It's just security breached, and it's ruined. The DLC and Secret Amendment so far are the ones I really have problems with. I also have problems with security with. I have a lot of problems actually with Help Wanted, in the sense of I think a lot of problems with FNAF story started with Help Wanted, and arguably will never be fixed because of Help Wanted. I hate this phone sometimes. Because I'll say this, I think the biggest mistake Scott or still will ever made is putting that line where he basically kind of semi-confirm all the games from them on are also just games in the universe. Which means every single thing from FNAF 1 to Ultimate Custom Night could be canon or could not. Who knows? I hate this. As I will say, when it comes to FNAF theorizing, there is one thing that always kind of annoys me. Yes, we have. We have gone down the complete rabbit hole. There is one thing that always annoys me with FNAF and theorizing, and it's always... It's a part where... Alright, we know at least William takes out the... dismantles the first 4 animatronics. 4 or 5. And all the spirits come back and attack him and he gets spring-locked. We also know at least 5 dead kids' spirits are also get melted down, go all the and be absorbed and trapped into the Funtime animatronics. And I know people always get caught up on how that's contradicting each other. To which I just say, you know there's 10 dead kids, right? Like there's a missing kids incident in FNAF 1. Not actually FNAF 1, but they reference it in FNAF 1 first. And then there are 5 more dead kids that show up in FNAF 2. There you go. Like it's just that. There's one set of 5 kids that get their happiest day minigame, and then the other set of 5 dead kids that get put into Enter. It's right there. Did y'all forget FNAF 2? They literally show that happen. I will say, out of all indie horror games, the only ones I do give a shit about too are Bendy, FNAF, and a little bit of that Dark Deception is what it's called. The Pac-Man styled horror game, first-person horror game. Like, those are the only ones I care about. I know nothing of Puppy Playtime. I could not give a shit. Doki Doki Literature fucked me up when I was like 12 and I've never looked back. Oh, and Hello Neighbor, I just could not give 2 shits about. Like, I really don't care. But yeah, all of them, I think Hello Neighbor is like the one that everyone kinda ignores. It feels like. Like it's their horror franchise out of all of them. So that, what do I actually, huh. Oh, it is dead now? Okay, maybe that's why I haven't heard from it in a while. I was gonna just ask which one is more just there, Bendy or Hello Neighbor, because I know I'm a fan of Bendy, but I know I take my like rose tinted glasses off and really pay attention. Bendy isn't really talked about a lot. I know because Bendy, unless it's April 14th, they don't really do things. Like it's usually they'll only announce stuff, talk about stuff on April 14th. And whenever the hell the game releases. And then nothing else. When in that time period. I mean, they'll do cool things like have art kinda call outs, like to keep the fan base going and get like fan art I see them do that on Twitter, like, hey, indie fans, draw this for fun. No reason. Okay, there we go. But yeah, if Halo Neighbor's dead, then that pretty much confirms it. So is it dead because, like, did the studio get shut down? Do the studio just not want to continue it anymore? Story looks amazing. Good, I'm glad you're liking it. Yeah, that's what I gathered, because, you know, outsider looking in, it looked like more to me, but, a lot of Halo Neighbor fans really liked more the concept of how the game, like, going up against the Halo Neighbor, and how he could apparently strategize and change how he and adapt to your play style. That's what made people want to play Hello Neighbor. But then MatPat made a video, a lore video that blew up, and then they just went lore route, and no one really gave a shit about the lore. Outsider looking in, by the way, again, I'm not a Hello Neighbor fan. I don't know all the ins and outs. It's just like me just sitting on the bench, just looking out here. This is what it looks like to me. Which also, I guess you could say that I should preface this. I've never also played any of the Five Nights games. I've only seen Let's Plays of it and stuff. So in a lot of horror games, I am more the outside fan. Like, I am a fan of this franchise. I do know a lot about it. I've never played any of the games except for Bendy. Like, I can sit here and tell you that almost the entire story, or what I at least think of the story. And FNAF, I can tell you pretty much the entire story in Bendy. No, a little bit of Dark Detection. And a lot about Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Haven't played a single one of those games. Again, except Bendy. And that's usually because of one of two things. Either A, broke, do not have a lot of money. So therefore just can't play them. Or B, until like 3 months ago, never had a good enough laptop to actually buy or play games off of. So therefore I can't play them because they weren't on consoles. Will say Resident Evil is another horror franchise I do really like too. And that Resident Evil 9 game looks really cool. Like, that looks really cool. You played 4? Was it the original 4 or the remake 4? I'm just curious. remake? Okay, cool. Yeah, I want to play the original and the remake for 4. And that's the only Resident Evil remake I want to do that with. Because I don't really like the look or the idea of playing 2 and 3. I know a lot of, depending on what you think, a lot of 3 diehards are probably pissed with me saying, they're like, no, you gotta play the 3 because the original 3, it was way better. And it's like, shut up. Just shut up. Like, I'll understand, I do kind of agree that there's some elements there that would make it more a cool idea to play. And it actually stands out more, but also, like, still not interested. I think Resident Evil 3 Remake gets way too much hate on it, too, by the way. What's the Ashley bit? What do you mean by that? But anyway, when it comes to Resident Evil 3, I think people give that game way too much hate for it. Because one of the main reasons the Resident Evil games exist is to, remakes exist, is to make them A, more scary, and B, to unify and simplify the timeline going forward. So in that sense, yeah, of course they're not going to have the open-ended, different story endings, because that complicates things. No, they're going to just pick one and go with it. And yeah, of course it's going to be a shorter game than 2, because the original was shorter. I'll give you, them cutting out the clock tower was kind of stupid and sucky, but also bitching about how they cut out the spiders. Again, they're trying to make it scary and not really campy and not super campy. And giant spiders, well, I would be kind of scared of them because I fucking hate I fucking hate spiders. They're also pretty campy and just weird in Resident Evil, the remakes. I argue be pretty out of place, so I don't see why you bitch about them being gone either. Oh yeah, well, yeah. It wasn't it wasn't the original. They kind of mostly censored and kind of cut it out in the remake, from what I understand. Because it's way that looking at her skirt thing is way more explicit and more into it in the original. I mean, for one, I don't think she's even really wearing a skirt in the remake. She's wearing a skirt, I think that's what it's called. A skirt, so it's shorts that look like a skirt. But like, unlike the original, the remake never brings that up if you do it. Where the original will call you out and make you feel bad if you do it. Yeah. So they also just made Ashley a way, on Resident Evil 4, they made her actually a way more likable and cool and nice, good character in the remake. He's kinda just annoying in the original. It's funny, because I've heard this, I kinda agree with this. Story-wise, I think both the original and remake, I would argue, are just as good on equal grounds. It's just, which one would you like more? Would you like the main characters in your allies to be more in-depth and cool, or do you want the villains to be more in-depth and cool? If you want the villains to be more in-depth and cool, then I would say you play the original. If you want your allies to be more in-depth and cool, you play the remake. Kind of both? Yeah. Well, you want kind of both, then, well, there's Krauser. They made Krauser way more interesting, cool, more kind of interesting, I think, in the remake. But when it comes to the other two villains, I'd argue they're better in the original because they have more screen time and do more interesting things and have interesting scenes. I say that, the original also makes the main villain look like a dumbass with how many times he could have killed Leon and it doesn't do it. But, like, at least while he's on screen, he sounds cool. And just don't think about how you could just kill Leon right here and now. Just do it. Just do. No, nope, you left. All right. Man, I want to play Sonic Unleashed now. I'm hearing this Sonic Unleashed song, and it's like, man, I love that game. Narrow on my hot takes. I will defend Sonic Unleashed so hard. I love that game. Even the Werehog, damn it. I like the Werehog. I know everyone hates the Werehog. I don't. I like the Werehog. I will admit the Werehog could be a lot better. Yeah. Because I will admit, I think the Werehog doesn't... They didn't incorporate the Werehog well enough in the Sonic playstyle. Like they did with Frontiers, for example. The Werehog is a little too slow and stuff. But these are all like elements you could refine and fix and make better. And not just say, no, we gotta throw all this shit out. My always example, my like quick way of explaining this is I feel like the Werehog took way too much inspiration from God of War, when I should have been taking a lot more inspiration from DMC. Like be way more fast paced and not even faster paced than DMC. Which again, Frontiers did. I think they could do it a little bit better, and even better than Frontiers, but still. Yeah, I think Werehog Sonic is cool. I will say though, and this might be a hot take, if they ever brought back Werehog Sonic, I wouldn't want Sonic being the Werehog. I would want Chip being the Werehog. Just so we could always have the Werehog as a thing and not just be a game gimmick. Because if you make Chip the Werehog and just make an excuse for Chip being here, then you always have that designing character around. Yeah, I'm not sure, because Chip is, basically the complete light side of Dark Gaia. Like, Chip is just Light Gaia. Very interesting question. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, he has light Gaia, so, huh. I mean, you could argue if there's just a little piece of dark Gaia in him, maybe not. I'm not sure. That's actually an interesting question. Say you went with like a yin and yang idea. No, because there's just a little bit of dark Gaia inside of light Gaia. But if you did that, I would say you had to do the vice versa, put a little bit of light Gaia in dark Gaia. Which I don't know how that would work or would look like. Oh, so here likes Chip. I like Chip. I thought he was funny. And kind of cute. We're getting close to almost being done with this red. Just got the disc, just got the gloves, and nails and gun. You're excited for the read that. when you get back from ads. Dun, 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 dun. Let's sharpen this up first. And ads are over. So, Frank, glad you're looking forward to the blue and ice. Yeah, we should probably at least get to one of them today. And the bread is taking me a little bit longer than I thought it would, but should be able to. Get to it today. I don't know, I'm hoping to get this done tonight, but it might be tomorrow that I get it done. Because I know the blue is going to take a while. By the way, what I'm going to do with the shoes, by the way, to help extenuate, to show that there's a bit of a, like the laces are down lower than this part, is we're going to shade the lace part of the shoe. So it's a little bit darker, so it gives off the perception that it's lower than the rest of the shoe. I don't think I did a very good job explaining that, but you'll see what I mean in a second. So here's what I mean. So about here should do it. Let's check how dark this is. Yes, perfect. So for this part of the shoe, we're going to take this pencil. I'm gonna come here and darken it a bit. There we go. And when I have this out, now I'll wait for that to do that later. So there, now the shoes are done, and you can see how this side is darker now, so it gives that like impression of death. Look, maybe you can't. Of course you can't, because the fucking camera's off again. Damn it! There you go. Alright. So, next is... we'll do the gun next. Over here first. Go. And this part again. Getting there with the gun, and after the gun, all that's left for Red is her nails and fingerless gloves. And then we can start the dark blue. Last layer on the gun. There you go. Okay. Now, wow. Yeah. Now we're on to the gloves. Ow. Hit my elbow. Alright, almost got one glove mostly done. Last layer for this glove. Okay, and like we did for the last one, for the shoes, we're going to put a little bit of shading, this time in between her hand right in here, to show like there's a little bit of a shadow there, to add more depth. There we go. Alright, next glove. Yeah, I just, like I said, bumped my elbow. I have a very kind of cramped, small space to work with here, so I bump into things a lot. Doesn't help. I'm 6'3", so makes the option of bumping into things a lot more high. But again, I'm also able to grab things off shelves easier, so, you know, you win some, you lose some. I don't know why, but when they're saying "wah" in this song, I'm just expecting them to say "born in the USA" for some reason. Right. So that's the gloves down. So the only thing left in red is her nails. I'm gonna sharpen my pencil up just to make sure I don't accidentally go out the lines. Since there we go. Just a little red in there. I already did that. There you go. Alright, so now I can see that, yeah. I can get that vibe. Now with the nails done, kinda, next we are going to, for the inner part of the nails, so the nails over here and the thumb on her left, we are going to add a little bit of shading in there too, to help extenuate and show that that is the inner part of her said nail. Here we go. So now, all that's done, I think we are ready to head into the blue. Let me just put these up finally. Yeah, they're both along here. One dark blue. So this is my go-to dark blue for my drawings. That's too light. It might work. Yep. It's blue time. Blue, blue. A da ba dee, a da ba da. Hershey's blue. Yeah, if you want to hear a really good version of that song, by the way, look at Violet Orlando's cover of I'm Blue. It's really good. Alright. See how this will look. Like I did with the clothing, I'm making a few options. You'd pick through, obviously. And good things. Okay, yeah. So, for the option of blue, which one do you like the better? See the number? You'll take one. Okay, good. Sounds good to me. So, back up. Two I need. Where do I want to start? This face would be a very good start. I need to sharpen this. because I'm real close to the eye, so I don't want to accidentally mess up and get color out. This song gives me very tropical vibes. Like on the beach of Hawaii. Coming together, folks. Damn it. I need that. There you go. Yeah, my pencil. I got it. Ooh, better sharpen this up again. Damn it. Dropped it again. set that right there so I can see chat way easier. Also help me because now I can see my stream. Oh, the stream's frozen. Video cam, but the chat's moving, so that's all I give a shit about right now. Alright, no, there we go. I swear my streams have to be some of the most scuffed streams out there, with how many different things I use just to be able to see chat. But hey, it's working. That's all I care about. Yeah. Yeah, I have a friend, we raided her yesterday, Krabby Man. The fun fact, I actually really like sharks apparently too. Yeah. Which I know is kind of, but she actually loves everything sea creature based. It's part of the reason why she's named Krabby. As in crab. But Jimmy, you ever over here in her streams, legitimately just ask her any sea question. I bet she can answer it. But I think like her two favorite sea animals are crabs and sharks. One of the reasons why one of the drawings I did for her, I drew a shark on her shirt. And my camera went off again. Hang on. Why one of the times I drew for her was a shark. Come on. Come on. There you go. And what was the other one? Yeah, that's it. I drew a shark on her shirt. Yeah, one of the things I do with my drawings, I post these drawings on all my social medias and some Discord servers I'm in, which I'm in hers, so I'm kind of can't wait for her to see this. She usually likes it. Remember, she's also one of the few people I've made a Sonic OC for as well. Or I can't remember why. Oh, it's because I hit affiliate, and one of the reasons, and she's a big reason why I hit affiliate. Because most of my followers I have here on Twitch are actually from her, shouting me out and telling people to go follow me. So, so as a thank you, I drew her a. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's incredibly nice, and if you're trying to stream or build a community, that's the best person to go to, because she will do anything she can to help you. Yeah, I remember the eye color. It's pink. I haven't colored the eyes yet. I'm just... Eyes are generally usually the last thing I color, because they're usually one of the smallest things. Unless you change your mind on the eye color, then I can, you know, just change it to that. Oh, you were trying to remember? Yeah. I think I have it written on here, too. So I would remember. Yeah, ice pink. I did write that down. Which I do like the idea of them being pink, because I'll make them pop out compared to all the other colors. Alright. But yeah, anyway, generally, yeah, Kirby is like one of the nicest people I've met. Like, absolute sweetheart. Yeah, she's, I think she's up to, 3 or 4K followers. Or 3K followers. And funny enough, I actually knew her before she even streamed, because another friend of mine, Hey Dino Kitty, which, if you like my PNG in the right hand corner, the layout on the screen, or my profile picture on Twitch, or any custom emotes I have here, so like the ones of my OC Soulfire or the OCD emote, OCD moment emote, they were all made by her. Anyway, she streams, and I make Krabby for there, in her community. And eventually Krabby started streaming on her own, and went over there, and we became pretty good friends. Which I'll say, another absolute sweetheart of a person, Hey Dino Kitty, super nice. I owe a lot of stuff to Hey Dino Kitty, because, just as like an artist, when I first started drawing, all I had were the pieces of paper that were in the copying machine I never use, and whatever loose ink pens I had around the house. I didn't even have fucking pencils. I was that broke and just didn't have any. But yeah, again, you know, you use what you got, and I did. I had fun. I had fun doing that. Maybe if I fucked up something, it was going to say fucked up because, you know, it's ink. I can't undo ink, but it was fun. Anyway, I was posting my drawings in her Discord, and she noticed that. And she wanted to help me draw stuff and like my drawings, and noticed, you don't have shit, do you? Give me your address. I'm gonna send you stuff. And she did. My first art book, and well, actually, the thing you see here under my art book that I'm using now were stuff she sent me. So yeah, a lot of how I got started, she gave me a lot of different tips, like this whole turning the canvas thing is a tip she taught me. And hell, my capture card I use for streaming was something else he sent me. So, I like her. That's why when I can, whenever I think about it, I give her shout outs or at least mention her. Because, you know, like, none of that shit they had to do, nor did I ask for it. They just did it out of the kindness of their heart. Okay, so we're in the second playlist, and I just noticed. Or second compilation. This is Forge's lo-fi beats. Yeah. I met a lot of really cool people off of Twitch and the internet. So I'll also argue the internet is not a bad place or just filled with assholes. It's like, yes, there are, but there's also plenty of good people. You just gotta know where to look and know to cancel out the noise sometimes and you wound up finding some assholes. Just ignore them. With something I think people forgot. You ignore a troll, you ignore a dumbass. That's because all they're trying to do is get you wound up. The worst thing you can give a troll is apathy. Uncaring. Which I know, kind of a bit of a pivot, but when it comes to dealing with trolls or assholes on the internet, I know it's really hard and it's easier said than done to just ignore them and ignore what they say. Especially if they're saying something that really triggers you. But that is legitimately the best way to deal with them. Because otherwise, once they know they got under your skin, they're going to just continue to mess with you or see that as a victory, while as if you just ignore them or just give them apathy, they'll just get more pissed off, if anything. Alright. No, that's... So we notice how her head's kind of a really big piece. So something to kind of help out your artists out there is you'll want to kind of section out big pieces to help you color it and ease it where you don't have to color so much at once. So for example, we'll use this part of her hair or wing here. What I'm going to do, instead of just coloring everything, is I'm going to make a little line here, And that line is basically our stopping point. We're just going to color this part up, the layers, and then when we're done with that, we'll like color this section, and then, or this part of the hair, or so on and so forth. Yeah. Again, I like to tell you these little tips and stuff because I think sometimes artists... No choice. I understand, yeah. I think some artists, and generally with anything technology-based especially, people just assume we're all at the same level and stuff. So when you say something like, say, like, in the know words and stuff, it's like, alright, you know that, but I'm just starting, and I have no idea what you just said. Can you actually explain that? So that's why I'm explaining the process and giving y'all tips. And again, it's kind of a win-win for me because it gives me something I can talk about. Like during these streams. Because, you know, like with video games, you know, like there's a story element I can really dig at or talk about, or gameplay wise and stuff. With art, I'm kind of relying on chat, whatever I am drawing. So if it's fan art, I can talk about that universe and how I like it. Great moments here and there, like I did last stream with Sonic. We had a big nice conversation with Sonic. But like another thing you can lean into is just talking about how to draw. I also think it's kind of important to kind of teach people how to draw and talk about this stuff, especially with all that AI garbage around. I think kind of, in my head anyway, helps encourage people not to use AI, because if I'm explaining it, kind of shows you how it's not really that hard, you know. If I can fucking do it, you sure as hell can. Let's put it that way. I'll say I only have about maybe an hour stream left into me, because it's 9:13 now. I don't really want to go past 10. So I'm not ending now, I'm just giving y'all a heads up that we're near the end of stream. I will say, no problem. I will say, I want to say this now to you real quick. Make sure y'all stick around for the raid whenever I raid someone, which you, admittedly, y'all have been doing pretty good about, which I appreciate. But I also say that because, well, not only does it help them out, you know, and you might meet someone cool. If you want just more perks here, you should, I think it's set up that way, you'd be getting more channel points. So if you're trying to save up for, like, say, black and white heads-up drawing, or black and white chest-up or bust-up drawing, or a shout-out to wherever you want, redeem, that'll help you get there sooner. Try and figure out a good spot for that. I think it's funny how sometimes with a drawing, it's the color that really makes it drawing really come to life and make it pop. For me, anyway. You know, another little tip. I'm not saying this happened with this drawing, it really didn't. I'm just saying. BRB? Okay. I'm just gonna say this real quick for y'all. Other artists out there. If you're drawing something that you do not like, I will make the argument you keep on drawing it anyway. Draw it until it is actually finished. Because I cannot tell you how many times I've been drawing something where I can't stand a sketch. I don't really like the line art. But when I am finally finished with it and I have colored it, I love the drawing. Sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to just push forward, just believe in the process, and just keep on going. You know, sometimes you also get those moments where you just feel like you're cooking every step of the way. You love the sketch, you love the line art, and you love the finished product. And those are always great feelings too. But you just gotta remember, when you're at those low moments where you're not liking what's going on, or you feel bad about yourself, you just gotta keep on pushing forward, keep on drawing, or may every once in a while take a step back, but always come back to that drawing, or come back to drawing. Because, and it's just pretty good life advice as well. You'll never get better, but you just keep on trying. That's why the word practice makes perfect exists. Ads have started. Thank you all for seeing for those ads. Secretly help the channel. Right, there's that part done. Let's see. I'm mapping out where I want to draw next, so... And ads are over. Welcome back, everybody, from those ads. And welcome back, Prime. We're getting there with the blue. We are close to doing all the face part. And then we'll have just the fin/hair part to do. And the rest of the body, obviously. But we're making good progress. Yeah, one goal I have later when I have more money and I can invest even more in emotes and stuff is I really want to make that Spider-Man emote done up in my Spider-Man OC, because I have a Spider OC, a Spider Sona, that's what they're called. I just think it'd be funny if I just had my own Spider-Man OC doing the finger point. Yeah. There's a lot of things I would like to do. One of them is, I would say the biggest one that kind of implies to what I'm talking about here is I have a Spider-Man OC, a Sonic OC, and this OC. They're all just variants of my main character, Soulfire. I would love to commission an artist to just draw up a PNG version of each variant and just use those variants for when I'm playing Spider-Man, when I'm playing Sonic on stream, and also just to be a channel point redeem in channel points. Spend so much to make me go into the Sonic version, or so much to be the Spider-Man version. I think that would be a really cool interactivity moment for chat. And something else I would like to do in that same format is just to get a bunch of different PNG versions of myself and different artists' art style, and just have those like specific artists PNGs being channel points of, like I have a friend named, like I have like Roy, like have a Roy version of my OC and just click that one to make me be the Roy PNG version of myself, or get a rum version, a rum version of myself, things like that. I also want to do the same thing with emotes, like I have a set of 4 emotes being done up by one artist I really like. That is into my friend Hey Dino Kitty. And I just want to do that. I want to get a bunch of different artists to do my emotes. And just basically be my emotes. My emote list basically just be an art gallery of different artists. And be able to kind of shout them out through that way of showing, hey, you like this kind of emote? They were made by this person. You know, so on and so forth. Than just all the emotes are done by just this one artist, which I understand are cool. Like, not to dunk on people that do that, because, you know, then you have, if you're just getting one artist to do all your emotes, you have, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistency, like everything looks the same, basically. And that's, you know, one way to do it. I just rather mine be more of a showcase of everyone's ability in different art styles. And it's not what I was supposed to do. Oh, damn it. There we go. Hopefully by next stream that will stop doing that, because that is so annoying. This is gonna close out the whole application tonight, so hopefully by tomorrow's stream it will reset the thing to realize, hey, I'm not supposed to be turning off when this is on. The only other thing I can think of is resetting my phone, and I don't want this old phone. I don't really want to do that because it runs so fucking slow when it's off. When I first turn it back on. Yeah, I know this says it's Frontiers music, but this song right here just sounds like a lo-fi version of Escape from the City. Like, it's not just me, right? You hear that too, right? We're getting close there, chat. We almost got the whole head done up. Blue. Yep, yes, she really is. I mean, yeah, really, the blue is the only thing left on her, and obviously her eyes, but for herself, yeah, she is pretty much complete. We are at the tail end. I would say she should definitely be finished by tomorrow's stream. But speaking of streams, man, this pissed me off. Before I went live today, I was archiving yesterday's stream, right? Okay, because that's what I do. Which is a little bit easy, because I don't have anything really done up for thumbnails for art streams yet. I think I need to just commission something from a friend or an artist for a thumbnail. But anyway, not important. What is I type out all the description info. I'm getting everything set up. I'm putting links in the description so you know. So you have a link to my channel or to my link card, to my social media, and all that crap. I fucked up getting the link card. Or I already exit out of the what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Page. So I got to open up the page again, forgetting that if I use a hotkey on one page, it won't open up a new page. It'll just bring that page to that other page. So I did that, and I ended up erasing all the shit I typed out. To where then I said fuck it, and I just immediately uploaded the VOD. I ain't typing any of that shit again. It was so annoying. And like, it ain't fucking easy for me to type shit either, because I have OCD, and one of the triggers for my OCD is, funny enough, typing. I got to do it a certain way, or else it'll fuck with my head. And yeah. So that was like I had all typed that was really the last thing I needed to get done, and it all gets erased. Yeah, you're right. Cause hopefully I'll just not fuck up again and be able to have all the text in the description for this VOD. Hi YouTube. Need to sharpen this up a little bit. Yeah, that's coming out better. Touch here and there. Alright. Obviously not done yet, but just a little show progress. We're getting there, chat. Yeah. So obviously we got the rest of our like hairline stuff over here to do. Arms, tail, and legs. We should to be at least hopefully able to get the hair done by today's stream, and then we'll work on everything else tomorrow. Oh wow, there's a lot. Sorry, just slightly checking notification on my phone. something we may have to do, I'm not entirely sure yet, is we may have to come back after we're done coloring and redo some of the lines. So, not everything is just, not all the blue is just blending in. Because I am noticing there is a lot of different parts of her body that are blue and are right next to other blue spots. And I can sometimes make it all blend together. There are like some spots where I want to blend together, like their bottom part of her face, wings bits. You know, we want that to just kind of stand out. And her arm/tail bits. Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, one of the references was that, what was it, Blade? The red shirt chick? And her face is red. That her bottom part of her face is red, along with the top part of her face. It's just, you know, they use shading or a darker line to make it still pronounced. Well, her head's a little bit different. Either way, you know. Again, it's not the end of the world. It's a very easy fix. You know, I just gotta get the ink pen out again and redo the black line, which I can still see. It's just a little hard to see, and I'll just make it easier to see. I've done it before on my own drawings, you know. Yeah, we're fine. I'm just stating the next steps in the drawing process, basically. I'm remembering why I don't like this playlist, by the way, because it's just like the 5th time this song's played. This compilation. It only has 5-6 songs in it, and it just repeats. But the stream's almost over anyway, so. It's very relaxing though. I'll give this that. Very relaxing music. Which, I mean, when it started playing is a kind of good spot for it, since we are kind of winding down. I was going to say change it, but you said it's almost over, so okay. Also, yeah, you go. Hey. To clarify, you can do whatever you want with the drawing again. You just have to credit me as the original artist. As for changes of clothing or coloring, it's your OC. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Again, you just have to credit me for making the design. Yeah, I'm just saying that's literally the only rule I have with my characters or anything you ever get drawn with me. It's just you have to credit me. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. There we go. All right. We should just have just enough time to finish her hair. Need to remember to empty out this before tomorrow. My sharpener. That is getting a little full. It's getting a little full. Also, I meant to ask this question earlier. I just forgot. But Prime, do you have any? I'm just curious. Do you have any lore or idea or story behind Aqua in your head, Human? Or is it just design you like? That would be cool. I ask this because I'm made a lot of OCs myself, and a lot of them have their own backstories and stuff. I don't know, for me, I like to talk about it. I just don't get an opportunity a lot of times that I would ask. Oh, cool. So it's like an original military group, or are we, Or she's like from the Freedom Fighters or Gun from just normal Sonic continuity. Made a military service. I did a oh, okay, cool. Like another lore question for you, if you don't mind me asking, are like other like normal Sonic characters, like both Sonic and Eggman things, still a thing in your headcanon or continuity, or they just don't exist? It's more just the art style you have incorporated or took inspiration from. We got some more time. Or some small areas I could do. We can do our chest area. Yeah, just adding your own ideas? Okay, cool. I gotta find more Sonic playlists, man. Yeah, I'm about to end pretty soon, but that... Okay, so another example of where I'll need to line out again is with the boob line and her face line here will need to be lined out again, but again, it'll be a small little thing, very easy to fix. Let's see, still got a tiny bit more time left. We'll do her right arm. I am one of those people, by the way. If I say I'm gonna end at 10, I mean, I ain't putting this fucking pencil down till it hits 10 o'clock. And then if I'm in the middle of coloring a spot like her arm right here, I ain't stopping until that arm's finished. I didn't say 10:52. I didn't say 10:59. Alright, I didn't say 9:52. Or 9:59. I said 10. I ain't 10 yet. And again, obviously, I'll be rating someone's stuff, so you know, make sure y'all stick around for those raids. Not only does it help them, and you might find someone new you might really like on Twitch. You'll also be earning channel points here on my channel. So if you're saving up for one of those high-end channel points, be a real quick way to get them, or it helps you get there faster. And it's just at 10 o'clock. Alright. Let me finish up this arm and then I'll find us someone to raid. We made some pretty good progress. I kind of wish we got a little bit more done than we did, but it is what it is. We got a pretty good amount done. Burnishing does take a while, but I think, as you can see, the efforts are very worth it. Campros, okay, thank you for letting me know. Thank you. 30 minutes my ass, by the way. I set my phone to at least not do that for 30 minutes. My ass. I do not think it's been 30 minutes since last time that happened. Alright, there we go. So, that is it for tonight. Again, we made some pretty decent progress today. We got all the red done for this drawing. Got the little belt and the seaweed belt and seashell done up. 95% of the gun done. Still got 2 little spots done to do with few little spots for the gun, but other than that, yeah. And the rest of the blue to do. She looks amazing. Good. I'm glad you're liking it. So yeah, I would say definitely by tomorrow we should have this drawing done. We only have really the blue left to do, her pink eyes, and the blue left on the gun, and one small little shading detail to do on the gun as well. Oh, and I think I missed a silver spot to do on the gun. But other than that, she should be done by tomorrow. So with that being said, let me look up who I have live on Twitch. If I may leave the white on her stomach, I'll leave the white on. You want me to leave the white on her stomach? I can do that. Yeah. You're gonna leave the white on her face. That would also help make it flow better. Yeah. Thanks for letting me know that. I will make sure to do that. Let me see who I got live. Oh, kiss my ass. I gotta log in this. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Is that Fresh Witch? Okay, we're gonna raid my friend Fresh Witch Gladiator. Kind of my friend. I don't really like to just throw that word around because I'm not. Let's say tell me I'm their friend, then I will. But anyway, from my understand, I think they lost their job recently and are in kind of a tough spot. So I'm gonna raid them, show them some love. If you're able, you don't have to, but if you're able, maybe consider donating or just stick around their streams so they can get some ad revenue. That can always help. Yeah. I know that's what I'm gonna be doing because I don't have spare cash for me at the moment. Raid. Fresh Witch. Damn it. Fresh Witch. There you are. Yeah, we're gonna go raid them. Or her. Oh yeah, them. Sorry, they use I think they use any pronouns other than she, her, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're gonna go raid them. They're a lovely individual. They've been here a few times. They're actually the first person who ever raided me here on Twitch. So yeah, make sure if you're following or if you have if you're subscribed, to just spam my high emote till I get off my lazy ass and actually make a raid command. And if you aren't subscribed, then just say hello and be nice. If you enjoyed this stream and want to see my previous live streams, here's my link card where you can find a link to my YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel I archive all my streams there. You can also get links to any of my social medias through that link card as well, where I post all my drawings on all my social medias, and I post when I'm about to go live and just general stream updates. I will be live again tomorrow, finishing this drawing off, and probably, depending on how long it takes, finishing off my Memorial Day drawing, which is so fucking late by this point. It's kind of funny. Alright, see ya till then, see ya. Have a lovely day or night or whatever time zone you're in. Bye.